when I say go. Start. Okay, wait.
What's up, bitches?
What's up, guys?
What's going on?
Hell yeah.
Um,
Back for episode 2, Super MetaBros podcast Royale. That's all we need is another Royale game. Is not.
can't wait.
Yeah.
They're all Royale games now.
We really need to do something with Mike Tyson's Punch Out Battle Royale.
That would be dope.
It's funny that y'all talk about the Royale thing because I just literally seen something about a new Royale game, some sci-fi one.
Oh, another one already coming out, huh?
Yeah, not sure. I don't even know what it was called. Like I was scrolling on Facebook and I passed by it really quickly and I just seen new sci-fi Royale, battle Royale. I was like, okay, here we go.
I feel like let me find it. I bet I can find it somewhere. I saw something about it too. It was like a Mad Max style, wasn't it?
No, it was it. I don't know. It looked like it was a short little video clip. I don't even remember seeing a name on it. That's why I didn't click on it. Like I don't remember if it was. I don't think it was like any game place that I follow. It was just kind of a video.
Fracture Clans.
Yeah. Classic Clans Battle Royale.
Oh, we lost that one. Kels. So yeah, the battle royale thing. I think everything's going. I mean, Call of Duty, Battlefield, anything that's got a gun in it is going battle royale. Let's not just throw everything in the mix. Get the Dragon Ball Z fighter games, make those royale. Tekken and Street Fighter, make those royale games. Instead of 1-on-1, just have it, 100 on 100.
Last
throw them
one.
out there.
Last one.
Where's
wins.
Where's the Hunger Games game?
Right.
I mean, that's what Battle Royale is. That's Hunger Games movie. Who says you can't make a successful spin-off of a movie into a video game? They did it. They just didn't call it Hunger Games.
Let's see. Yeah, I'm surprised that didn't ever become a thing, seeing how big that IP is, just in general.
No, it's not as big now as it was.
If they would have had like the
Back when it was in theaters, yeah.
maybe if the craze of battle royale games were around then they might have made something like that.
Where's the Condemned version of Battle Royale? That was a pretty good movie. The one with Stone Cold.
Yeah,
they dropped them on an island.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent movie, man. Like I actually like that one.
Well, we've been tossing this idea around for a long time. The Jack Carpenter's Escape from New York and Escape from L.A. Kind of the same thing.
Yeah, those were good movies. That's what damn Hideo Kojima based Solid Snake on was him.
Yeah, those are the games that I want to see. I want to see Escape from L.A. Battle Royale.
Damn battle royales, man.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, his name was Snake, wasn't it? Snake Plissken.
Yep, that's where he based. That's where he based his main character off of was Snake. That's why. And then the Pliskin. There's a guy in the game that was called like Theodore Pliskin and shit.
Oh man, they went full on with the.
He used a lot of movie references of movies, his favorite movies, and that's how he created the story.
Soul said WWE Battle Royale. I think they already do that kind of.
It's kind of a Royal Rumble, isn't it? Technically,
there's already a 30-man Royal Rumble. I mean, just drop them all on an island and have them fight there. That'd be pretty funny, maybe. But I don't know if you could do a whole game.
You know, they actually want to sue Kojima for ripping off that character.
Yeah, I figured they would, because I mean his name was Snake. He smoked a lot of cigarettes. The original Snake had an eye patch. The whole works.
Yeah. Yeah, they never went through with it. But yeah, I remember reading about it a few years ago.
Yeah. It's kind of too late now anyway.
Let's see. So what are you playing, Ice? What are we playing these days?
I've been stuck on damn Conan Exiles, man. Build my
And
shit up.
basically, that's just like a survival game.
Yeah, it's like a. It's weird. It's a mixture of more. It's a mixture. It's the survival aspect, like what Ark had, except with the dinosaur aspect. You mine resources, you build your base, so on and so forth. Then you have but it has like a RPG MMO feel to it because there is a story and you can end the game. Um, but it's the map is pretty big. The world feels like it's real. It's kind of deep. They got a lot of lore to it that's all around the place that you could find and whatnot. It's pretty cool. But then of course this one, unlike any of the other survival games I've ever played, has a thing called the Purge. That if you once you have a purge meter, and the more stuff you build, and the more you do, it fills. And when it gets full every day at whether it's PvP or PvE servers, it doesn't matter. When it gets to like from 6 to 10 every day, you can get hit by the purge, and what it does is it sends an NPC army after your base to destroy all your shit.
What? Every day?
Every single day, there's an opportunity for the purge. The higher the bar is, the more chance likely you get hit by it.
Oh shit!
That's why you got to capture. They call them thralls, but they're actually you basically make them your slaves. You capture them, you break them in the wheel of pain from the movie, and then they work for you, and you just set them around and they defend your stuff when things come.
Okay.
That sounds interesting. How much does that game cost?
Last time it was 50 when I bought it, but like a few days ago on Twitter, I seen it saying it was on sale for like fucking 40% off or some shit.
Oh man, that's nice. That's probably like $25 now or something.
Yeah, because the game hasn't been it just had its full release. Like they just dropped its first DLC this last week. Which
Okay.
and the thing about the DLC is the DLC is more of a from what I read, all the DLC is going to be more cosmetic. It's not, but it's not. It's not technically like just cosmetic. It's different weapons and different like building material and stuff, but it's made from the same material you get in the game and
Gotcha.
whatnot. But all the stuff like when they add new caves and new bosses and stuff, from what I read, that's all supposed to be free. It's just going to come in updates.
Yeah, just
Oh
content.
wow.
And if one person buys the DLC and makes all the armor and the weapons, anybody can use it.
Oh shit!
Oh wow.
So it's pretty dope, man. It's just it's one of those games that take a lot of like once you start it because they have a decay timer. Like if you're not on for so long, all your stuff will just go away. Like it'll decay and people can destroy it, or the game will, because the game resets its servers every single night at 5 a.m. on the dot. And if your stuff's decayed, there's a chance for it to destroy all your stuff to clear the server and the map.
Oh wow.
That's pretty cool.
What about you, Kelly? What are you playing?
Honestly, I've been playing mostly just Dark Souls. That's really
Dark
all I play
Souls.
these days.
You got to find something new to get into, man.
I play PUBG on my phone every so often, but it drains my it just drains my battery so fast. I just don't even go for it anymore. Because the matches take like 20, 30 minutes, and by that time my battery's
Yeah,
down.
those games
20%.
aren't very conducive to mobile for me. Like a game that I play on the phone has to be something that I can open, play for a while, and then close, all in the time it takes me to take a dump.
Oh, dude, you should play Ark then.
Yeah.
Ark on the
If
phone
I
is
can't,
just like that.
yeah, if I can't finish what I'm trying to do, or get far enough by the time I'm finished taking a crap, and I feel like I have to stay on the toilet just to keep going, and I'm done. So no, I don't play anything that lasts longer than that. Generally, I hate those ones that make you keep waiting and waiting and waiting. For hurry up and wait games.
There's a lot of waiting in PUBG.
Yeah.
A lot of waiting.
Now you could Ark would be a good one. It's free. I mean, it's basically it's what Conan is too, with the whole just surviving kind of thing. Even though it's technically a lot harder because there's dinosaurs everywhere. But it's you just hop on there and you build your hut, and eventually you get to tame dinosaurs and use them and ride them, and each dinosaur has a different purpose. And
I'm sure we can make our
it
own
just
server too.
you can actually rent your own server. And have a passcode where only your friends can join. But I mean, if you're going to do that, you could just play single player like co-op, and friends can join that. So
Yeah.
So there's no. It's better to join an official server because then you go by the official rules. Because if you rent a server, you're the admin. You can just spawn stuff if you want it. So that kind of takes the point out of it.
It takes the grind out.
Yeah, because that's all Conan and Ark is a major grind. Ark is a little worse, simply because when you you end up basically eventually needing to have certain dinosaurs to mine resources because they do it way, way, way faster and get a lot more of it.
Yeah.
But it literally takes days. Like the biggest dinosaur on the game is the Gigasaurus, and it takes 7 real days to fully breed one of those things, like from an egg to a baby to a juvenile to an adult. You can't use it until it's fully grown, and it takes 7 real days, and you have to babysit it because it gets starved to death if you don't.
Oh my god,
that's why I quit playing that. I was like, I love the
Yeah,
game when it come down to
it's like
that.
if it turns into a Tamagotchi, I'm done.
Yeah, basically. That's why I like Conan, because when you like on that one, they're adding animal taming, but it's not going to be like Arks, where I don't think you can use them for what Ark uses theirs for. But when you capture like a thrall and whatnot, and you put them in the wheel and you start it, you don't have to babysit it. There's already food in there, and when he's done, it just stops. And you just go in there whenever it's done and pick it up, pull them out, and put them whatever you want to put them.
Hey.
Okay, that's cool.
I feel like Ark is. If I were to ever get good at Ark and have some actual meaningful skill dinosaurs, like high level, I feel like I'd be playing it a lot. It's getting up to that point hard. Getting up to that point takes literal just weeks out of your time.
If you have
kind of MMO,
people,
you got to grind.
Well, if you have enough people, you can get there pretty quickly. Like it's the hardest part about that game, besides the dinosaur taming, is there's bosses. If you want like the highest tier stuff on Ark is tech gear, and you got to have this to make any tech, and to use the tech, you got to have a deal called element. And the only way to get it is to fight the bosses. And the only way to get the bosses is you got to farm for them. But then when you go in to fight them, you can bring in dinosaurs to help you. And the only dinosaur you want to take is the T-Rex, because he's the biggest dinosaur that you can actually take in there. Yeah. And so you want to breed like a 30 or 40 and bring them in there, and then they all die. And you have to start all over and breed again, because you might get like fucking 5 to 10 pieces of tech when you need a lot to make it. See, it's just kind of a pointless ending right there. Ark thing about Conan is it actually has an ending. Like you go and fight, there's like 9 bosses, I think, 9 artifacts, and once you get those, there's a thing you do to take off the bracelet that you're wearing that keeps you in that world, and then once you take it off, the game ends. Like and you don't have to like have grinds to go fight these bosses. You just kind of want to be prepared when you go fight them.
Sounds a lot more satisfying.
Yeah, but the only thing is when you beat it, your character leaves the waste that area, and you got to start all over with a brand new character. Yeah.
God damn it.
Yeah, I've been playing Vault or Fallout Vault. What the Vault settlement thing? What's it called?
Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, Fallout Shelter. Oh God, I heard about that. The suing of the Westworld game developers for stealing Bethesda's game code for the Fallout Shelter. But yeah, I've been
actually helped make Fallout Shelter.
Yeah, I know. So they definitely had access to the code. So I'm thinking they're probably going to lose in that case. I don't think we're going to be seeing a Westworld game continue for much longer. They're trying to get it pulled from the source.
Well, that's what I just read happened to that Jason game. That lawsuit kind of ruined it. Now they're saying that that Friday the 13th game will no longer have any future content.
What's
Oh,
funny
really?
about that, man, is
Yeah.
when they were developing that game, they had the dude that owned all the rights to all the movies on board. Like, he was in the Kickstarter video.
Yeah.
He was excited about it, but they fucked it up.
Yep. Now they're pretty much shutting that game down where they're no longer going to do anything with it. So
All that
heck.
promised DLC not happening.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And
I'd be
I've
wanting
got
a
some friends
refund.
that play. I've got friends that play Friday the 13th, and it seems fairly interesting. I was giving it a consideration. I was like, man, I might try that.
I like the
Dead by
concept.
Daylight's better.
What's
Yeah,
better?
Dead by Daylight.
Dead by Daylight.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, it did look interesting. So, but I doubt it goes any further unless they open up like fan created mods or something like that. If they let
But
it
Yeah.
if they let it get modded, that could be interesting. But I don't see any other way if they're not going to offer support.
yeah, they have that new game coming out. Uh, damn, I just watched a video of it. Uh, where it's like a battle royal game. There's like 16 players, and they send you out on the map, and there's stuff you got to do to each reach the next point of the map. But the whole time, like a serial killer is chasing you, and you can work together or work separately. And
Oh
yeah,
yeah, we talked about that the last time. I can't remember what it was though.
they got some. It's basically the same thing as Friday the 13th. The only difference is I don't think in Friday the 13th or Dead by Daylight you can actually take on the killer. I think you just like gotta hide from him the whole time.
Yeah, I think so. No, actually, I think in Friday the 13th you can kill Jason. It takes a lot to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you never truly kill him because Jason doesn't die.
Yeah,
that's
basically.
right. So yeah, been doing my best to give the PlayStation version of Fallout Shelter a chance, and to be honest, it doesn't translate well to the console platform. Mostly because it's a lot easier to navigate those little tiny boxes when you can just touch it, as opposed to moving a cursor across the grid and all that stuff. And then managing the individual dwellers inside that little box is even easier when you can just click that one dweller and move them instead of you have to go inside, you have to click the box and you have to cycle through all of them one by one instead of just going to the one you want and taking them where you want. So it makes
now does it? Sorry.
Go ahead.
Now, does it have touch integration with the touchpad?
No, and even if it did, it wouldn't be. It would be really difficult because it's such small little people moving around on the screen that it does not work right on PlayStation. And the worst aspect of it, and the reason that I think it's not very successful on PlayStation or Xbox or whatever console that it's on, is because it's a waiting game.
Yeah.
Like you have to wait for your resources to drop. You have to wait for your settlers go out, and it might be a 3-hour waiting period before they get to their destination, and you can start the mission. Consoles aren't conducive to those sit around and wait and not do much, because you really can't do much. You can't. You're just waiting. The whole game is waiting and waiting to get more money so you can build a new thing. Waiting for somebody to finish something so you can collect a resource. That's all it is. There's no action. There's no real involvement besides managing the vault. So it's not it's not working out for me on PlayStation. Now, maybe somebody who just has time to sit in front of it and just watch this little vault go do its little thing, I guess like an ant farm or something. I can do it on my phone. I can't do it on a console because there's bigger and better things that I can be doing on that console at that
Exactly,
time.
and you could still be playing it on your phone.
I can still be
while you're on
playing
your
Fallout.
console.
And the worst part is it didn't transfer. I can't get my vault from my phone, which has a whole bunch of legendary characters. I mean, I've got, Bitter Cup, I've got Amada, I've got a whole bunch of the legendary. I got 3 dogs, I've got a bunch of legendary characters in my vault on my phone. I was like, man, if I can see this on my big screen and, just every once in a while go in and, look at it on the big screen and manage it from there, that would have been cool. And that's what I would have been interested, but not starting over from scratch. Because I'm still trying. I'll go in like once a day and I'll sit there for like 30 minutes and collect some stuff and send some people out and go back and get whoever I sent out to come back so they don't die. But other than that, it's been a wasted effort.
Yeah,
I could see
I
that.
played it on the phone. And I don't know. I've never really liked mobile games in general, like none of them. And I thought I was like, okay, well, since I don't have to pay for anything to get where I need to be, I wouldn't mind it. But it still just didn't keep my attention very long.
So Soul Amazing Gaming says Gun Media is making a new game. You guys know
Who's
anything
Gun
about
Media?
this? I don't know. I'm looking it up now.
Never heard of them.
Let's
I guess
see.
Soul knows who they are. Trying to look it up.
Gun Media. Oh shit, they're the ones who made Friday 13th?
Hmm.
Hold on. Let me make sure that's right.
You know, they're gonna need something since they can't do nothing with Friday the 13th.
Yep. They made Friday 13th. Yeah, they gotta do something. 'Cause
I
that
can
thing's
see them.
dead.
I can see them turning around and making something like that. It's just different, you know.
Learn their lessons. Make something better.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sad though. I was looking forward to that game. So wait, what kind of game is it that they're making?
It might be another rehash of that, just with the fresh take. They might be able to. I think they can learn from their mistakes and do it right this time. Maybe the same type of game.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's not like they just had a complete failure. I've seen a lot of people who really like Friday the 13th and enjoy playing it. One of the biggest streamers that I associate with, the guy Raider Nation Sam, he's got about almost 5,000 subs. He plays Friday the 13th at least 3-4 times a week, and gets quite a few views. And he seems to really like it. But
Well, from what I see, the updates that they've given it, it's made it a bit better.
and right here it says Soul Amazing said he was saying something about a game with 16 people landing on a beach. Oh, that's the game. He said we were talking about it earlier. I guess
Let's
Sean was. But
Now this one starts off they're in a bunker.
no.
This game already had like a gameplay video and stuff. I can't remember who's making. I can't even remember the name of it. Like, I think it's called Hide or Die.
How did I?
I believe that's what it's called. Is Hide or Die.
Oh, okay.
Okay, you have
But-
like a little cell phone.
Yeah, you pull out your cell phone and it tells you when like people get killed. It tells you that the serial killer's on his way, and you use your cell phone as light and things like that.
They're calling it Horror Royale.
Yeah, basically.
Horror Royale. Nice.
I watched the gameplay of it. It looks pretty good. Like they show you the first part, a little bit of the first part, and then, of course, at the end they tease you actually him picking up a gun and shooting at the serial killer. It's like a clown or something. Oh, it's the fisherman. In the video, it's a fisherman coming to try to kill you and shit. It's looked pretty good. I don't know if it's like but the only thing is from what I can tell that it's an NPC fisherman serial killer, and it's not a player like Friday the 13th is. So
Yeah.
So we think it's called Hide or Die.
Yeah,
I'm
Hide or Die.
pretty sure.
I'm watching gameplay right now. Doesn't look bad.
Yeah, that is what it's called. So that could be interesting.
Yeah, it looked all right. Like I would try it just to get see what it's like, because I like a horror game, and why not try something? It's basically with Friday the 13th. It's more like with an NPC character. If it is an NPC character playing as the serial killer in this, it's more of a survival type thing. With the Friday the 13th game, it could be more of trying to outsmart the player.
Did we get a release date for the new Resident Evil game? Speaking of horror, the Resident Evil remake? January?
January, yeah. I can't wait.
That'll be interesting.
That was one of my favorites.
So on my radar is definitely WWE 2K19 coming out October 9th. WWE streams are some of my most successful. Probably because of the ability for other people to actually be involved in my universes. So that's pretty cool for me. And there's some information coming out that they've AJ Styles is the cover athlete this year. There's also a $1 million open challenge.
Yeah.
There's a contest that if you win the contest and you can go on, you can beat AJ Styles at WWE 2K19. You win $1 million. So that's a little bit of promotional marketing going on there. That would be interesting to see how that plays out. But I think it could be it wouldn't be hard to beat AJ Styles, but it would be hard to
Oh
get to
no.
that point. A lot of people cheat and use modded controllers and all kinds of stuff to just it's terrible because I played online a lot of WWE 2K19, 2K18, and it's hit or miss. Sometimes you get somebody who's actually trying to play, and sometimes you get people who just spam stupid stuff that has no. They'll figure out the bugs, the flaws, and like you can keep
Yeah.
doing this move over and over again, and there's nothing they can do about it. So I don't think maybe it'll work, but I see it being exploited and somebody winning that doesn't deserve it. But
Yeah,
there's
it's very
been
possible.
no big news about it so far, other than the character on the cover and a few of the people who were in it. But there was no big news, as far as the people on it. They're, I guess, saving that. They like to announce this stuff in little segments. They'll do like 5 character reveals one week and then 5 more another week, and they'll drag it out until October. But I'm definitely interested to see what they've added this year and if they brought any fan favorite stuffs back, like showcase mode or create a finisher, things like that people really miss. And
They
just
like
see
creative
what they've
finisher
done.
was cool, man. I like the creative finisher. The only problem
Everybody
is
did.
well, the only problem that was with it is you can make like ridiculous looking moves. Like,
Well, that's also part of the fun in it, that you could make just the stupidest looking stuff, or you could be really into it and make something that really really looked cool. And the ridiculous parts, is the parts where you don't take everything so seriously. If you look at a lot of my creations on WWE 2K18, they're really really bad and on purpose. I make just the cringiest stuff just because I can. I like throw meme faces on stuff, and it's bad. So that's going to be big on my radar coming forward. We got about 4 months till that comes out, I guess. About 5 months,
Okay.
I think. So
something like that.
that's big.
Yeah, October, November is going to be pretty big months.
I'm ready
Too
for
big.
September. I'm ready for September.
And what's coming out?
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's going to be
Yeah,
fun.
that E3
I'm definitely going to try
gameplay.
that out. I usually
Dude,
don't get those types of games, but I'll definitely try that one out.
I
it
wonder
was
who
like,
they're. I wonder who they're teasing.
who
Other than that trailer.
who the leader of the Sinister Six is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could be so many different villains though. That's the thing. Like, and it might not even be an actual. Well, in the game he'll be a villain, but he might not actually be a villain that people know. Like,
Or like an established villain. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
like
they might make a new one.
he might be a hero turned villain type thing.
Who knows?
Could be. He did look surprised.
Yeah, like maybe it's that damn cop that was at the beginning with him.
God damn it! I swear to God, if you called that shit.
Well, I have to say, I would probably like lean towards like Kingpin or something like that,
Yeah.
because
Well,
he's always a big deal in that world.
I mean, it actually might be because in the gameplay footage they showed before that, he was on the phone with Kingpin, and Kingpin was in jail, and in in this gameplay thing, they were breaking out of jail. So,
Okay, yeah. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to Spider-Man. I'm glad that Spidey's on the right track finally after like 5 movies and a million video games. he's like finally getting good movies and good video games. So
Well, it looks like we're gonna
it's a,
finally
it's
get good X-Men movies too, man. Because y'all read that thing about Fox actually accepted Disney's deal.
oh they find okay. I knew that Comcast like tried to weasel in there and like sneak something in there. I was like, man, you assholes. And then Disney was like, nah, we ain't playing that. We'll raise it up to like 70 something billion.
Yeah,
They're like, oh, okay, yeah, we'll just go ahead and do this
yeah, they
because
went
they did
ahead and
not want
signed
to
it.
piss off all the rest of the fans that want to see those worlds come together.
Yeah,
It's
people
it's
been
too
wanting
good of
a
a
good.
time for comic book nerds.
Yeah, people been wanting X-Men movie and like a Fantastic Four movie done right. And now that Disney owns or Marvel gets them back, then
I
they can
think they're
be
gonna
done
stay
right.
away from Fantastic Four. I
Oh
think
no,
that
I don't think they will. I think
they're gonna
they
wait.
can do
They're
it.
gonna wait. They're not gonna do a full-on movie. They'll introduce them in an ensemble in like a Avengers type capacity. Oh, look, here's the Fantastic Four. We know them too. And then maybe if that's successful, they bring them in a little bit more, a little bit more. They'll do it. But they're gonna Fantastic Four will get the Hulk treatment. After Hulk got kind of went to mainstream into the MCU, they just kind of forgot about. They're like, we're not going to make a Hulk movie. We're just going to make a mini Hulk
Well,
movie stretch out in all these other movies.
well, they did the weird thing about the Hulk is like they made that really crappy one, and then they turned around and made the one with
Edward
Edward
Norton,
Norton, Edward Norton, which is actually part of that universe, that
yeah,
Marvel
but
MCU
not that
thing.
character anymore.
Yeah, it's just a new guy playing him. But they did that. There's a reason why they kept Hulk didn't get his own movie because they've already had all this stuff planned out. Like
Yeah,
their front runners were going to be Captain America and Iron Man and whatnot, and of course they had to make movies to introduce new characters. But with the Fantastic Four, man, I don't. I could see them making a movie of the Fantastic Four and people going to see it just because now that people know that Marvel is the one actually making it now.
yeah. Marvel does is I think they haven't had a failure since they started doing it with like the Iron Man, the first Iron Man. I don't think they've had a failure.
They've had what critics and stuff consider flops, but they still made a crap load of money.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, there were some that weren't great according like the second Thor movie. I didn't really care for. There's some that I didn't care for, but I still liked them. They're better
yeah.
than all the superhero movies we got before, and they were still better than anything DC was putting out. I'm sorry, DC fanboys, but that's just the way it is. You can argue that till you're blue in the face, but look at the numbers.
Yeah, yeah. That's the big indicator right there. Like,
Hey, they own the games front though, or they have for a while.
they make better. It's weird because they make the better cartoons and the better games, but when it comes to the movies, they just can't do it right.
They tried. Well, they get all too many directions. They try too much stuff at once. They can't just stick to a formula.
Well, see that was the thing. Like with Marvel, it started off with Iron Man, and it just slowly built over this is 10 years
Yeah,
of all these characters. They're trying to throw all of the Justice League at you at one time.
yeah. It's like let us breathe. Let us come to grow and love these characters each individually. So
Exactly.
there are no more or no less. I'm sorry, no less than three Joker movies with two different actors in
Yeah.
production
Yeah,
right
I know.
now.
I know.
There's a movie with
It's
Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. There's a that what was the not Justice League Suicide Squad 2 with
hmm
Jared Leto as the Joker, and then there's a standalone movie with Jared Leto as the Joker.
hmm
So all three of those are in production right now, or almost in production. This is what I'm talking. This is why DC is not winning this war and probably won't
Oh,
because
it's too late to win now.
they're
Oh yeah,
spreading themselves too thin. They're just trying to make a little extra money on make a little money off of it. They're trying to ride the curtails.
they're
The,
trying to expand their universe way too quickly.
Yeah,
Marvel
yeah,
did
I
it
mean,
gradually.
their biggest success was Wonder Woman, and that was a great movie.
Yeah, it was.
But that was a really good like movie as a whole, as whether you want to consider it a superhero movie or not. I mean, the storytelling, the acting, the whole thing was great. Everything else they make, on the other hand, just can't seem to. They're just such in a hurry to push all this stuff out to try to catch up. It's just ruining it.
Yeah.
Like their last, aside from Wonder Woman, I mean, the Batman's with Christian Bale, the Dark Knight trilogy. Those are the only, like, the best ones they put out in a long time.
Yeah. The Batmans.
And this was during like Iron Man and shit like that. Like,
yeah, like
Marvel
those
hadn't even had their expanded universe set up yet. So
no, like
they were doing just fine before they tried going off and doing what Marvel did.
well, see, originally I read something that Christian Bale would have come back as Batman in this whole universe thing if the director guy that directed those, why can't I remember his name?
Is it Zack Snyder?
Yeah, no, not Zack Snyder.
No, that's the Superman guy.
Yeah, the guy who made Dark Knight trilogy. Well, Christopher Nolan. Yeah, if he was coming back to like take lead and direct, basically be the front runner of the movies, he said he would have come back, but they
would have been better.
A lot of money. Oh yeah, because it was a
probably
Batman
would have
that
been
was
better.
already established.
Well, no, here's the thing. I would have rather had Christopher Nolan direct, but Christopher Nolan direct Ben Affleck, because I'll be honest, I hate Christian Bale. I do not like Christian Bale. I don't like him as Batman. I'm not a big fan of the Dark Knight series. Call me old fashioned, but I like Tim Burton Batmans. Michael Keaton was the best Batman.
See, that's that. I didn't care. I never thought Tim Burton movies were all that great. They're just.
I don't like Tim Burton movies, except for the Batman. I don't like Nightmare Before Christmas and all that Johnny Depp crap. And
that's so bad.
I don't like that stuff. But the Batmans were awesome. The ones that it's because I was a kid. They were really campy, and I was like 12, 13, 9, when they were coming out. So I was a kid when I was watching these, and they were amazing to me. This stuff was funny. The bad jokes with Arnold Schwarzenegger and, all that stuff. That stuff was hilarious to me because I was a kid, and I didn't get how bad it actually was. So growing up, I have that nostalgia filter where, I don't care what you say, they're not bad movies that if you take them for what they are and what they were supposed to be. If you try to take them seriously like a Marvel MCU movie, yeah, it's not what that is. But if you take it to go in there and have fun and just laugh, or watch it with a B-movie mentality, like how we watch, bad horror movies or, bad karate movies just so we can laugh at them and point out the bad acting and stuff like that. If you watch it in that capacity, it's some of the greatest movies of all time.
I tell you what, Val Kilmer killed it as Batman, bro.
My favorite line in that whole thing was Alfred says, "Do you want me to get you something to eat, sir?" It's like, "No, I'll get drive-through." And then it shows him pulling out of a Taco Bell. I was like, "Come on!" And he had was it him that had the bat nipples? No, that was
George Clooney.
George Clooney, yeah.
Bat nipples.
Yeah, his suit had
with the nipples on it.
Yeah. It was so bad.
I was never a fan of the Dark Knight ones. They're good movies. They're dark and they're okay for what they are. But for me, they were always boring. They were really boring. Gotcha. And I'll probably get crucified for saying this, but if Heath Ledger hadn't died, I don't think that Joker would have been as big a deal as it is. I think that's kind of like that. That's that artist dying, and it happens in everything. As soon as somebody dies, everything they most recently did becomes their greatest work. As soon as somebody dies, like Brandon Lee. The Crow was a great movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. But if Brandon Lee hadn't have died during the making of The Crow, I don't think anybody would have made as big a deal about it.
Hey, Heath Ledger owned that fucking character, though.
I'm not saying he didn't do an amazing job at playing that role. I just don't think it would be as big a deal now if he were still alive.
Oh yeah,
but the thing is, a lot of the credit.
like I can see why he won the award he won, whether he lived or died.
I can.
Just
I
because like
don't. I'm
his
not
acting
disagreeing
in
that
it,
either.
but the whole people crucifying the Jared Leto version over because they're comparing it to the Heath Ledger version of it is I don't like, but I don't like that. With that being said, I do not like the Heath Ledger version of the Joker, or not Jared Leto's version. I don't like his version. I think it's stupid. I don't care to see one of the coolest villains in the whole comic book industry, whether it's DC or Marvel, turn to basically nothing but more than a mere gangster that worries about money and shit. Like, if I wanted to see a gangster movie, I'd go watch a gangster movie.
That's how he was in the
Like,
cartoon, though.
yeah, but that's boring. That's why I liked Heath Ledger's version the most because
It was
no, that's
psychotic.
why he was a psycho. He didn't care about money. He didn't care about nothing else. He just wanted to, for chaos. That was the whole point, and that
Yeah.
makes for a better villain. And then on
That's
top
it.
of that, you had the thing about the Dark Knight trilogy was it was about a superhero, but it was more real for the fact that there's no superpowers. Like there was no super humans in that world in general. They were just fucked up people. That was the whole point of the movie. Like it felt real.
I
Street
wonder what we're
Gun
gonna
said, "What
see.
if Jared played in Heath's movie? That wouldn't have worked. That would have been god awful." I
Oh
don't
God.
necessarily hate the new Joker. I get it for what it is, and I don't. I try not to go into anything with this is gonna suck kind of attitude, or I automatically hate something. I try not to judge a book by its cover, but
Oh, I
I'm
didn't
guilty
either.
of it too. Like
Oh,
there's a lot of things that I've went into, and I didn't hate it. I just think that he didn't get the screen time that he was supposed to, and they just rushed through it. I think if they would have gave him more reasons, more character, because the thing about Jared Leto is he's a dope ass actor. Jared Leto is a beast, like Requiem
Yeah.
for a Dream, and
Oh God.
that stuff is like crazy good. Right? It's hard to get through Requiem for a Dream, but he was in it, and that movie was dark. And so I see why they chose him as that. I see why they picked Joaquin Phoenix for the standalone. Joaquin Phoenix is another crazy
yeah.
method actor, and that's what you need for the
But
Joker. You need a method
he's
actor.
really. Joaquin Phoenix is actually a really good actor, though. Like he makes it. Like he's really good at it. He's weird in real life. Like that's what screws him up. And he seems kind of like a dick, just in general
Yeah.
as a dick.
Well, he did a whole He did a whole thing just to troll all of Hollywood. So
Yeah,
that
it's
I'm
like
still here thing. Or he was going to be a rapper or something like that, and
yeah,
it was like this
yeah.
whole documentary, and he was just trolling Hollywood. I mean, Joaquin Phoenix is a beast. Yeah, I like with the Leto thing. I blame the writers. I don't blame Jared Leto. I
Well,
think even
I
that
don't either. But
Joker, with the tattoos and the grill and everything, I hated on it when I first saw it. I was like, oh my god, the Joker's got a grill. And then there was some backstory and the tattoos. I got it. I understood, and I was like, they're just modernizing the Joker, keeping him more relevant to our times instead of like this 1950s in a colorful three-piece suit with green hair. You can't. That doesn't work anymore.
Jack
It
Nicholson,
worked.
bruh.
Jack Nicholson did it,
Yeah.
but it would be too campy in what they were trying to write.
Yeah.
Um, Now, one example I've seen that was spot on. I don't know if any of you watch Gotham, but the redheaded kid from Shameless
Yeah, yeah.
is
He kills that shit. Like
is killing it as the
yeah,
Joker.
yeah. He's really good as the Joker. Like he got the laugh down and everything. Like that's the
Oh, is that
Joker.
Ian?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's the Joker that like I like. Aside from because he has like a mixture of the Heath Ledger Joker, but a little a little different as well.
Yeah,
He's just fucking batshit crazy and shit, man. That's the one I like.
yeah, it was pretty good, and I do enjoy Gotham. Like Gotham to me has been the best produced DC thing I've seen in years.
Yeah.
I like Gotham better than and it's weird because it's not even about Batman. It's about James Gordon or Jim
Yeah.
Gordon. You know, so It's really interesting, and it's nice to see all these the beginnings of all these villains that I remember from when I was a kid.
The
And
penguin and shit.
yeah, the Penguin's killing it. You know, all the villains, all the characters in the show are killing it. They make me believe they're characters. The only ones that I don't really care for is like the Ivy and stuff like that. But the main ones, like the Penguin and Joker and the Riddler and all that shit, they're killing it.
Yes,
I can't
sir.
see anybody else as those characters. And I wish they would take that universe and they could expand that into a DCU. Forget, just erase all this other shit and just expand on. They've got a groundwork for the young foundations of all their characters. They've got actors in place already for all these characters, and that can grow with the series. And they could continue it on for 10, 15 years and grow with it as these actors grow because they're all young.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
that's
you
what that's the same problem they came in with the. That's the same backlash they were getting when they said the Justice League was movie coming out, and they got that guy to play the Flash, and most of the fans wanted the guy from the show to play the Flash because he's already established as the Flash. That's what people know him as. It's one of the top-rated CW shows on on their network, so like he's the Flash to most people.
Yeah, they're all hating on me, saying I'm turning my back on Marvel over here. No, I'm just saying from my experience, what I think would be good for Marvel. I mean, for DC. You know, a way that they could capitalize on their success. I feel like they're kind of digging their own grave right now with what they're doing. They could take what they're successful at and what's really been successful, and that's their TV series, and spin that off. Marvel's included their TV series in the canon for their MCU.
Yeah, they're all
I
connected.
mean,
Every show that they produce and make on Netflix and regular basic television is all technically part of that universe.
they bring it up, like in Luke
Mm-hmm.
Cage, they're talking about the event, in
Yep.
Agents of Shield, they were literally keeping up with. I'm not going to give any spoilers here, but the Infinity War movie
Yep. Yes,
stuff. They
sir.
were referencing Thanos in the TV show on
Yeah.
ABC like a week after Infinity War came out in theaters. They
Mm-hmm.
like timed it perfectly. They've got this comic book shit on lock, and DC
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
would
they do.
really, really have to work hard to catch up.
Because believe it or not, like out of all the like superhero shows that are on TV, because there's so many of them now. Um, the most well written, aside from Gotham, because I don't really. It's not really about a superhero. It's about the cop that the superhero befriends later on. But out of the ones that that's going on right now, Agents of Shield has some of the best writing of all of them.
Yeah, it
Like
started off kind of slow, but I've been with it since the beginning, and now it's really interesting. It's a good show.
like last season, man, that Ghost Rider season was fucking dope, bro.
Yeah, I was impressed with that. And I mean, they even brought in they explained why it wasn't the Ghost Rider with the motorcycle,
Well,
and
yeah, he's
that
yeah, he was basically the one who gave him the powers.
yeah. So I was like, this. They covered all their bases, and that's what Marvel's doing now.
Yeah.
They're dedicating themselves to the fans. They're saying, okay, we want everybody to be happy, but if the fans aren't happy, this is going to be really. We're going to have some X-Men 3 Deadpool kind of shit going on. We
Yeah,
don't want
yeah.
that. So
Yeah.
they're really listening, and they're making sure they're doing their research and their homework. They're not, crossing any wires. They're getting everything in canon. If it's not in canon, as soon as they realize it, they fix it in the next movie. It's pretty good stuff. Like how in one of the movies in the last Thor movie, Thor Ragnarok, they fixed the part where um, somebody had a piece. They had a canon error, and I can't remember exactly what it was, but they just explained that the one that was in Asgard was a fake. They were like, "Oh, that was just a fake."
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah.
and so
The
they're like, "Oh, problem solved."
well, the only problem that I have with the whole connected universe thing is there's one at one point you could say she was kind of a big character in the MCU. Um, was Lady Sif from
Yeah,
Thor. because
Yeah.
she was in the Thor movies and shit, and then she was on Agents of Shield. I mean, granted, I know the girl has her own TV show now, but she was in an episode of Agents of Shield where she played that character to come help, and then in Thor Ragnarok when all that shit went down, the Warrior 3, when Hela first come back, where was she at? Where's she been this whole time? Like, it gets like, okay, well, that's one kind of falling out. You don't really explain to where she's been this whole entire time. Like, she was supposed to be the best of them, like out of the out of Thor's best friends.
Yeah. I agree.
Now I'm just waiting to see what the Sony does with the Spider-Man thing, with the whole Sinister Six. I guess that's what they're leading up to with Venom movie first.
I thought that wasn't part of
It's
the
not part of
MCU.
it's not part of the MCU, but they have the contract with Marvel or Disney or whatever that they made was after the next Spider-Man movie that they make. That's the last time Spider-Man's going to be in the MCU, and it's going back to Sony unless something changes. So they're trying, from what I understand, they're trying to build a universe with Spider-Man. Sony is, and they're starting it with the villain movies, and it's supposed to lead like to the Sinister Six.
No, they're gonna keep Spider-Man in the MCU. Now that it's gone Disney, it's not going back. They've already proved they could be successful with it. I don't want Sony going back and ruining this shit. I don't want to
Sony
say
owns the
that
rights to it. That's the only problem.
they'll get it.
Yeah.
They'll do it. Disney will pay them enough.
Well, I did read somewhere that Sony Entertainment might be up for sale, and if that's true, and if Sony did sell their movie rights and stuff, they have to give it back to Disney because the rules were in the contract that no one could make the Spider-Man movie but Sony. So,
Have any of y'all played any of the Arkham games?
I played all of them: the Arkham Knight and Arkham Asylum and shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I played the hell out of those. Those are actually really good.
Well, Rocksteady just apologized to their fans for not being at E3 and teased that they are definitely working on something.
Maybe it might be
Maybe.
another one. It might be something different because I swore on the last one they claimed it was going to be the last one. So I don't know.
So they have a track record now. They've made great Batman games. So
Oh
they've
man,
proven they could do.
Yeah, there wasn't no better superhero game really. Granted, the Spider-Man might be one of them, but that's the Batman game that people wanted. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure this will probably be the the Spider-Man game people wanted. That was the Batman game people wanted.
I feel like they've proven themselves good enough to make a really good open world game. Hopefully, they try their own IP.
Yeah, we'll see. You never know. They're gonna keep going where the money's at, though. Like most of them do.
Yeah, I mean, if they were to do that, then they would just make another Batman. So, I mean, I'd say it's possible. Spoilers, guys.
I don't have any other news. I don't really have anything else I've really been doing either. What else you guys got?
I got nothing.
I did try a new Switch going out next month called Project Octopath Traveler. It's a pretty cool little RPG. I mean, I played about 3 hours of it. That's how long the demo is. Good thing that carries over to the main game.
Okay, so the demo carries over?
Yeah, because you get 3 hours just to play, and you have 8 different characters to choose from. They all have their own backstory, skill set, their little world they live in. Not world, but I mean just like sort of town. It's different. I mean, just their locations are different than one another's. It's like their own little worlds. It's pretty interesting.
What's up?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to pay really good homage to Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger and the like. I mean, it does have elements of Final Fantasy IV in it, to where like the enemies can change their state, and depending on their state, then you probably shouldn't attack them, or but just whatever. battles seem pretty dynamic. It's a beautiful game, though.
Awesome. I'm definitely looking
Beautiful.
forward to checking that out. Well, I'd have to get a Switch first, but one of these
Yeah,
days.
it looks pretty good. Other than that, man, just been Dark Souls and not shit. Sony's being a bitch about their crossplay.
Oh yeah, that's a big deal. The crossplay and the Sony thing.
Yeah, that's a
I
big deal.
don't get it. I don't get why people are so whiny about that shit. Like, who gives a fuck if I can play with people from Xbox? It's not going to change the fact that I'm still playing with people online. Like, I
Yeah,
don't
it
care if
doesn't.
it's.
Dude, a
It's
lot of
not
people
that
want
big
that,
of a
though.
deal to
But
me.
it's.
think
I can
that's
see why some people.
I think it's a huge deal, though, man, because doing that would open the floodgates, man. It would change the whole landscape.
I mean, not really. You're still playing online, whether it's Xbox or PlayStation, and you're not. It's not like you're really going to know. It's not going to say, "Oh yeah, you're playing against Xbox people right now." Like, who gives
Well,
a shit?
as a Sony fan, I just hate to see the company that I like being greedy. It amounts to greed to me. It's like
Right.
you
It's not
could,
consumer friendly.
yeah, you should be opening
It's a
you
separate.
should, like Kelly said, opening the floodgates. You should be, it should almost be like not the way America is right now because Donald Trump's the president, but it should be like an America type deal where everybody's welcome and everybody, makes it their own, and we can
Yeah.
cross these borders and reach across divides and work together to make something even better.
I
Some of
mean,
the best.
Nintendo and Microsoft are really putting pressure on Sony right now because, I mean, they did just sort of collaborate and make this little cross-play initiative, I guess you would call it.
Like if I could play Fortnite with my friends on Xbox, that would open up a whole lot more people that I could play with. I've got friends that I work with that play on Xbox that just they're not going to get a PlayStation, and I'm not going to get an Xbox. Well, I probably am, but not right now. But right now we can't play together. That's not an option for me. There's still plenty of people I can play with, like Ryan said. There's a
Yeah.
lot of people that I can be like, you know, I can always go play with my friends from PlayStation, and I've got plenty of them. But
Yeah.
it's always nice to have that option. You run into somebody, or you've got an old friend you've seen from back in the day. Somebody you hadn't seen in 15 years. You're like, oh, you want to play some games together? And you're like, yeah, we'll play. I love playing. This game. Oh, I love it too. Well, what do you got? I got an Xbox. Well, what do you got? I got a PlayStation. Well, fuck.
Exactly.
So.
I would just like to
Well,
have the option.
I guess we can be Facebook friends. It's not the same. When you play a game with somebody, it's a different kind of deal.
I
It's
guess
more
it's
real.
I guess it's for people who have Xbox friends that play on that console, but I don't have anybody, so I don't care to play anybody on that
Not only
console.
just that, man. Like I have my Switch. I can't if I want to play Fortnite on my Switch, I can't play with any of my friends because no one has a Switch. But I would love to take my Switch on the go, maybe play a few rounds one day. I don't know.
That's the
It's
thing. It's
hard to
like,
get. It's hard to get when you're on a lower, like if you're on a mobile or on a console or on a Switch. It's going to be harder to get somebody that wants to play with you on PlayStation or Xbox. Or
exactly.
it's like going from PlayStation or Xbox and trying to play with people on computer.
Oh, and
You're
what
going to
they
get
do is with
wrecked.
Fortnite, they throw everyone who's playing on a different system in a cross-play server. So it's filled with like PC, mobile, console, all that. It's filled with everyone. So it's sort of a level playing field.
I mean, Sony.
Oh
I
well,
mean,
yeah, man.
because Fortnite's doing. I mean, I can go on PlayStation right now and play people on PC. So, and on
Yeah.
mobile on the Fortnite. So it's not like it's a big deal. You can tell who the mobile players are
Oh yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure.
And you could a lot of times you can tell who the people on PC are because they're ridiculously good at building and shit. But other than that, it's like you won't really notice any difference. Like you won't know. Oh, okay. Well, there's 30 million people playing on Fortnite on the PlayStation
I
right
mean,
now, for
it's
an
not there to
example.
notice though, man. It's just for other people to be able to play with their friends. I mean, it's not going to apply to everybody. And it's
Well,
not going
then
to be like a
I
game changer. It's
do
not supposed to
if
be a
you
game
do it.
changer.
If you do what most people do, you buy the console that most of your friends are going to buy. So, I mean, if you and like say 10 of your friends and 8 of you buy a PlayStation because you're all that's what y'all are going to be playing on, and 2 of them buy the Xbox, well, that's their fucking fault.
That's not a fair argument, though. I mean, that's just
Well,
kind
then
of.
they don't deserve
I
to
mean,
play with y'all. I mean, that's kind of the point. Like,
that's a shitty argument, man. Like, that's just not consumer friendly.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
on the other hand,
look,
Microsoft is
what
doing the
about the
same thing with
people? What
Sony.
about the people whose parents got them an Xbox and they didn't have a choice?
The parents
Oh,
nowadays
shit.
pretty much know the difference between one of the two, and if you tell your parents, "I want a
Not all the
PlayStation,"
parents. There's plenty of parents who are like, well, this one was on sale. This is what you're gonna get. You're gonna get the, you know. So
but when
you know,
when the systems first come out, the PlayStation was cheaper, so that would have been the key to get the PlayStation anyway.
I
yeah,
guess
So
my whole
yeah,
argument is, what reason do they have not to do it?
yeah.
What gives?
just because they don't
No,
want
they're
to.
not saving money. They're
No, they're
losing
not.
money. They're
Yeah,
losing
they are.
money. It's
Uh,
not
mean,
if they make it crossplay, it's not like everybody's going to be like, oh well, now I can just play on Xbox forever because I can just play the PlayStation games there too. No, they'll probably be like, well, the PlayStation's cheaper. The PlayStation, there's in my eyes, PlayStation has more benefits than
it does.
Xbox with their, PlayStation Plus and the PS Now and the PS View. The free games they give away so far have been better quality than the Xbox free games, even though sometimes it's the same ones, but better quality and quantity. I mean, the only thing Xbox has going for it is a little bit of processing power, I think, and some better frame rate or something. But unless
Yeah,
you're on
yeah,
the most expensive TV, out now, and you've got the most expensive up to date shit, that stuff's irrelevant. Like. I literally grew up playing video games on the TVs where it had a knob and there was one, two, three, four,
it
five,
was Channel
and
Three,
you,
yo, Channel
yeah,
Three.
yeah, and
playing
you had
fucking
to
N64 GoldenEye at 12 FPS.
exactly. We were playing on TVs with the worst resolution possible, and now people are complaining about 60 frames per second as opposed to 45 frames per second. I'm like, give me 10 frames per second. I'm good. I used
Hey,
to play on some garbage. I used to
I'm
play
with
on
the
some
60
TVs with
FPS.
lines going through it and all kinds of shit, man. I'm happy with what I've got now. I've got flat screens and all kinds of stuff. They're not 4K, all that stuff, but I don't need to see a sweat drop down somebody's ass crack. I'm okay with the level of
Yeah.
detail that I've got right now. It looks fucking beautiful. I'm not worried about the next generation of graphic quality. I want gameplay advances. I want,
Yep. Give us
storytelling
GPU power.
advances. I want NPC advances, so that they're those are more realistic. I don't care that the world looks hyper realistic anymore because we're already close enough to that point where I'm like, man, this is fucking awesome. This is gorgeous. I don't need super next generation graphics right now, anyway. Maybe when we get into virtual reality VR and that starts really developing, that would be, something I would be into. But right now, I don't need top of the line resolution, to accomplish anything. I can see what I need to see. It looks great. It looks fine on a $200 TV. It looks just as good to me on a $200 TV as it does on a $2,000 TV.
Yeah, I think
Or
the
the
problem
difference
is
is not worth the price.
a lot of
Yeah.
these games aren't hitting native 1080p. So, I mean, as soon as we can have all games running at 1080, 60, then that'll be good. That'll be enough for me. 60
I mean,
frames. I'm in the 60 frames crowd.
yeah, I mean, it doesn't bother me because I realize what I grew up with. I
Right.
don't take that for granted. I know how bad it used to be and how far it's come. So I guess I'm kind of on the edge of that millennial and not millennial gap where I don't think everything just has to be the best all the time and I deserve the best all the time. It's like,
Oh,
I'm
yeah, because
like,
if you want the
well,
best all the time, go pay $3,000 for a PC.
yeah, you
Or
can't
more,
always,
or more, depending on the game you want to play.
yeah, you take what you can get. And right now, there's mobile games that have graphics as good or better than PlayStation games or Xbox games. And it's,
Yeah.
it's getting to the point where anything we play could be on anything we own. We could be playing the game that just came out on PS4 on our phone the same day, and with very little changes, because now they've got controllers and stuff for mobile phones.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the phones now are stronger than a PlayStation 3 was when they came out. You can run PlayStation 3 games on your phone with
Yeah, essentially.
fairly good success. You can hook up a controller to it, and you can just sit there and play a PlayStation 3 game on your phone mobily. You've got a Switch in your hand, basically. You've got a Sony Switch.
I wish.
All you've got to do is Bluetooth a controller to it, or hook up a controller to it, and they've got plenty of controller add-ons and stuff like that. I think they've
Oh,
even
yeah.
got PlayStation controllers that can connect to your phones.
Yeah,
It's just finding the
if you have the app or something, you can connect your.
Yeah.
Or I know the Sony the old Sony phones, you can do that. Your PlayStation controller can connect to it, and you can use it as a controller.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't really have any other news, and I got some company coming in, so I think this is probably a good point to call this a stream. I think we did pretty good today, guys.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'm gonna go eat.
Where'd Kelly go? Left
To,
us.
to masturbate probably.
We'll wait till they. Yeah, had to go fap.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and call this a stream, but I think we did pretty good. I think we're growing consistently, and we'll continue to try to improve on these videos. And I'm still gonna try to put out a review of XCOM or something like that here soon. Just haven't really had time. I had a lot of work, but I got the next couple
I've been
days,
playing it.
so we'll see how that goes.
I played it a few times. The XCOM 2. I've been playing on it a
It's
few
not
times.
bad. I mean, just don't get attached to anybody. Like somebody told me, don't.
Yeah, don't
I'm
name your
very,
characters and be like, oh, I like this character because they die so easy.
yeah, very first game, they're like setting me up to get people killed. I was like, well, you assholes.
Yeah,
Like, come on.
it could be pretty. It's pretty daunting, man, because that game could be really hard. Even when it's like says that it's an easy mission, you end up losing like 3 of the 4 characters you have. It's like, well, okay, what was easy about that?
Yeah. So that's one fun thing I've had, just naming my subscribers after the characters and just
Watching them die.
watching them die. I'm like, what? Oh, I'm sorry you didn't make it. It's a little bit macabre, but I think it adds to the fun. You can't always be winning championships. Sometimes you got to take one for the team.
Yeah.
But all right, guys, I think this is a good stopping point. Anything you guys want to add before we go?
I think we're good.
Yeah, I think we're good.
All right, stay breezy, Sheefa. We'll catch you on the next one. Podcast Royale, over and out.